Family dinners used to be sacred. Every Sunday, we'd gather around the table, laughter spilling over stories of the week, teasing each other, passing plates and glasses. It was predictable, comforting, the one place I felt at home. That night, everything felt off from the start. She had spent hours in front of the mirror, fixing her hair, choosing an outfit that was too perfect for a simple Sunday dinner. I thought she was just excited to see my family. It wasn't unusual for her to put extra effort in. But there was something else in her eyes, a spark that didn't belong. The moment we arrived, she pulled out her phone. Constantly. Not to check messages from me, not to show family pictures, but to scroll, to text, to laugh quietly at something I couldn't see. She was so absorbed that she barely greeted my parents properly, barely smiled at my siblings. Every now and then, she'd let out a soft chuckle, like someone whispered the perfect joke into her ear. And then it hit me. The text notifications. The name that popped up over and over again. His name. Her business associate. She had called him before. Someone I thought was just a professional contact. But the way she lit up, the way she typed, the way she hid the screen whenever I glanced, something was wrong. I tried to ignore it, tried to stay engaged, laugh at jokes, talk about work. But she was gone. Emotionally absent, physically present, entirely consumed by him. My family noticed. They asked questions, commented on how distracted she seemed. She smiled politely, reassured everyone, but I could see through the act. At dinner, she leaned in to whisper into her phone at the table, right across from my father. I caught a glimpse of the message. Can't wait to see you later. That was the moment I knew everything I had suspected was true. I excused myself, stepping out onto the porch to clear my head. The cool evening air hit me, but it did nothing to calm the storm inside. Years of small betrayals, subtle lies, and emotional distance all rushed in at once. The laughter, the shared dinners, the plans we had made. They felt hollow now, like I had been living next to a stranger for years and pretending it was normal. I returned inside, and she barely looked up. "Everything okay?" she asked, distracted, eyes still glued to the screen. I couldn't play along anymore. Not that night, not ever again. I set my glass down carefully, leaned in, and said quietly but firmly, "I see him, you know. I see how much attention you give him, even here, in front of everyone." She froze, the phone lowering slowly. Her smile faltered. It's nothing," she whispered. I shook my head. "It's everything. The texts, the hidden messages, the way you've been distant for months. I see it all, and I can't stay silent anymore." Her friends, who were at the table as well, laughed nervously, unsure what to do. My family went silent, sensing the tension. My parents exchanged worried glances. My siblings shifted in their seats. The warm, comfortable dinner had evaporated into an uncomfortable confrontation I had no choice but to start. "I've tried to ignore it," I continued. "I've tried to trust you, to hope it's harmless. But I can't. Not when the person I love is more invested in someone else than in the family we built together." She looked down, her fingers twisting the napkin in front of her. "It's complicated," she said, weakly, almost pleadingly. "No," I said. "It's simple. You made a choice long before tonight, and now I have to make one too." I stood up, feeling the weight lift slightly from my shoulders. I can't keep living next to someone who's already gone. I'm leaving. Tonight. She tried to speak, to protest, to explain, but the words came out broken and meaningless. I could see the panic setting in, the realization that her actions had consequences she hadn't expected. I walked out, not yelling, not slamming doors, just out. The family dinner ended behind me, quiet except for the murmurs of confusion and concern. I got in my car and drove, not knowing exactly where, only knowing I had to leave before staying would cost me my dignity, my sanity, and my sense of self. In the following days, I sorted through what had happened, piece by piece. The late nights, the hidden phone calls, the distractions at family events, they all added up. She had made her choice clear, and now so had I. I filed for divorce quietly, not for revenge, but for my peace of mind. No shouting, no public drama, just clarity and action. I blocked her business associate from being any part of my life, and I began to reclaim my space, my home, my emotions. Months later, I think back to that dinner. The way she laughed at her phone, the way she ignored everything around her, the way she betrayed me in front of the people I loved most. It still stings. But it also reminds me how important it is to recognize betrayal, to act decisively, and to never compromise your dignity for someone who doesn't value it. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I simply recognized the truth, acted on it, and removed myself from the situation. And in doing so, I found something I hadn't felt in years: freedom, clarity, and peace. Sometimes betrayal is loud, sometimes it's subtle, but it's always a signal. That night, the texts, the laughter, the distraction, it was my wake-up call. And I answered it, for myself, for my family, and for the life I deserve.